Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, January 31st. We're getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up having a pretty solid day. Now, for the standalone videos, we ended up doing two yesterday, ended up splitting those, ended up losing the college play with Colgate minus 14.5 at minus 110 on Bet Online. They were up 10 at the half, and then unfortunately, they collapsed in the second half before winning in overtime, but they did not cover. We ended up winning on the other play of the day with the Rockets plus 1.5 at minus 115 on BetMGM, as they ended up winning outright against the Pelicans. And then in the joint video with Scott Steen, I ended up giving out Purdue minus 2.5 at minus 105 on Bet Online. And I also gave out the Boston Celtics plus 3.5 at minus 109 on Bet Online. And both of those ended up winning. Boston probably should have won the game outright, but ended up losing only by one. And Purdue ended up winning the game handily after getting off to a very slow start. Minnesota continues to be useless on the road, and I'll continue fading them on the road as much as possible. But for today's play today, we're going to be looking at an NBA matchup here. It's going to be taking place in the Eastern Conference, and it will be between the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors, and that will be taking place at roughly 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, for this matchup here, the play of the day is going to be on the Raptors minus 5.5, which is available on FanDuel at minus 110. Time recording of 2:55 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like Toronto in this spot. First of all, I know that Toronto's on a 3-game losing streak, but Orlando has been awful for about the past month and change. Orlando has lost 10 of their last the Magic have lost 10 of their last 12 games. Really been struggling, and I feel like not enough people are talking about it. They got off to a decent start so far this season, but the main issue for Orlando this season has been the offense. And if you look at the Magic, Orlando is only averaging 104.8 points per game. This team can't score on a regular basis. I know the Markelle Fultz injury, I think, might have been more extreme than people thought it was going to be, but this team really just seems lost, and I'll get into some stats in a bit. But looking at Toronto, Toronto has played its last two games at home, ended up losing those two games, of course, to the likes of the Kings and the Bucks. However, it doesn't need to travel, and Orlando is coming off 4 straight home games. So I do think Orlando will struggle a little bit in this hostile environment, since it is 4-6 on the road this season. But if you want to actually look at the numbers and the efficiencies comparisons between these two teams, Toronto's a much better team, as Toronto ranks 15th in offensive efficiency, while Orlando ranks 28th. And if you also look at defense, even though Toronto's defense has been awful lately, picking up at least 115 points in each of its last 3 games, based on efficiency, Toronto's defense is a lot better than Orlando's. Toronto ranks 11th in defense efficiency, and Orlando ranks 18th. Now, the main reasons why I think the Raptors will get the job done here is because of the fact that in addition to being better on paper and according to all the efficiency numbers, Toronto's defense has been the main issue lately. However, Orlando's offense has not scored more than 107 points in 3 of its last 4 games. This team simply can't score. And I think that if Toronto's defense has a get-right spot, facing off against Orlando at home is a pretty good spot to do it. I think Toronto will be able to get back on track. And Orlando, in the past, has fared terribly against the Raptors. The Magic are 0-6 ATS in the last 6 meetings. I think Toronto should roll here. Until I actually see the Magic keep games competitive, I really just can't trust this team. You look at Orlando's recent results: lost to the Clippers at home by 26, lost at home to the Kings by 14, ended up beating the Hornets in an immediate rematch, but lost the first meeting against the Hornets at home by 3, lost the Pacers by 2. But you're going down the line here, really a lot of lackluster performances, mostly from the offensive end. And I think that Toronto, with the likes of Lowry, Van Vliet, and Siakam, who are now all fully healthy, I think they'll be able to take advantage over Orlando, and I think they'll be able to do enough in order to win this game. I think this game could end up turning into a Toronto double-digit win, but I think they'll probably win by about 8 or so. So for that reason, the play of the day here for Sunday, January 31st, is going to be on the Toronto Raptors minus 5.5, which is available on FanDuel at minus 110. That's been Installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective best today. Bye, everyone.